What is going on, guys? Flossie here, bringing you another Destiny video. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys the fastest and or best ways to make it through the Nexus strike on both Heroic and Nightfall difficulties. In this video, I'm primarily going to be showing you guys how to make it through the strike by yourself on solo, but I'm also going to, be pointing out general locations and, show you some spots that teams should either avoid or that, groups of 2 or 3 should kind of stick around in. Luckily, the Nexus is this week's Nightfall and Heroic, so this is a perfect opportunity. In this video, we're going to be running through it solo on Nightfall, just because Nightfall is generally considered harder. Now, the first thing you want to look at is the second you start loading it up, is look at the modifiers for the strike, specifically which type of burn modifier is on here. For this week, we have the Void, which means Void weapons are going to do significantly more damage. As you can see here, we have all Void weapons. What you're going to want to do is put on Void, even if it's a rare like this rocket launcher. It's still very good, and if you're lucky enough to have the Atheon's epilogue from the raid, you're going to be going through this absolutely no problem whatsoever. Another thing that you're going to want to have is some ammo synthesis packs, preferably for all kinds. They're not essential, but they can definitely come in handy. Let's go ahead and get to the beginning of the strike. Now, most people typically like to sit here in this room and wait for the enemies to come to them, but I find it significantly faster. Just go ahead and push forward. You're going to have this group of enemies spawn here on the left and walk down the staircase. This happens every time. They're really easy to kill when they're whenever they're in a bunch, and you can actually control the spawns pretty well depending on how you move around. The next group of enemies should spawn right here and fall down into the middle of this little pathway. Now, if you guys have a Void fusion rifle for this, that definitely would be preferable to, say, a shotgun or a sniper, specifically because of the epic modifiers that are typically with the Nightfall strikes. Fusion rifles are inherently good at taking down shields. So after you kill that next group of enemies, as long as you don't push too far ahead too quickly, you should have your third group of enemies and the first servitor spawn over here in this room. Just stay back, use the cover in the starting room whenever you need, and push up whenever you've taken out enough enemies. After you guys have taken down enough enemies, just move forward, and you shouldn't have too much of an issue taking out this first servitor, especially if you've taken out all of the other yellow barred vandals in the room. After you lay waste to the last guy, you're actually going to use this room as kind of your next hold down defensive position. Just go ahead and go up to the second story, or the second floor, walk out the back, and you should have your next group of enemies, which will spawn a fallen captain, who's probably your biggest threat right now. But as long as you guys have some sort of Void secondary, you'll be perfectly fine. Like I said, fusion rifles are your best friend. Even if it's like a rare level 19, it's still going to be extremely useful because it has the Void burn. Your second servitor, also who spawns on the left, should be, both groups should collide right here on your doorstep during the fight with the fallen captain. After you've killed both of them, just lay waste to the rest of the enemies right here. Like I said, the Atheon's epilogue is extremely useful in anything with this. And then your last servitor should spawn over here on the left side in the corner of the building. He's not too hard to take down. After you've killed him, just go ahead and continue through the strike. Next up, you'll come to this little room with 3 harpies. You shouldn't have any issue getting here or taking out the harpies. There's only 3 of them, and they don't have yellow bars, so with a fusion rifle or something, take them out. And instead of walking through that left door that I just looked at, we're going to actually go to the right side and take out the smaller group of standard goblins, because we're going to want to get a good eye view of 2 yellow barred hobgoblins that you'll see right out here. Just barely peek out with a rocket launcher, fusion rifle, or sniper, and try to take them out, because if the right modifier is on, and if you're not high enough level, they can and will easily one-shot you. I can take more than one shot just because I'm 29 and the solar modifier isn't on. After that, there should be 2 standard goblins, but with yellow bars down here, either at the foot of the staircase or on this platform behind where this guy's running. And if I don't die here, yeah, be wary of the explosive radius on their guns on the higher levels. And here's where the synthesis packs come in. If you run out of rocket launcher ammo, you're going to want to have it right here and the end, just because you kind of want to deal with the Minotaurs as fast as possible. Not because they're particularly difficult, but because they are the larger enemies and they can do more damage, so you want to take them out as fast as you can. After you take out the Minotaurs, kill the little group of leftovers over on the left, and you're going to have this cluster of enemies in this hallway that can teleport out of the hallway, but if you get to it fast enough, you can take them all out with a rocket launcher, machine gun, or auto rifle and continue moving on. After you've killed the last little horde of enemies, you'll arrive in this cave, which is the end of the strike essentially. All you have to do after this is summon the Minotaurs, kill them, and then you'll be fighting the Nexus. Now I've seen a lot of people in public matches actually stay up on this cliff edge to fight the Nexus. Essentially what they do is they have their primary group of 2 people up here, and then one guy will jump down there, summon out the Minotaurs, and they'll kill them and then fight the Nexus from up here. And while it does have good cover, there is actually a Minotaur who will spawn up here periodically, so I don't find it all that great. Personally, what I like to do is jump down here. I'm going to show you a couple of spots down here that I like to go. If you can see this kind of block over here on the right that I'm going to jump to, is just jump down and try and land right here and instantly jump over to this platform over here on the right. And here's pretty much the best spots that I've found in general to fight the Minotaurs. This isn't all that good for the actual boss fight, but for this first step of killing the Minotaurs, it provides plenty of cover and you're kind of at an elevated level. So it's pretty easy to dodge the shots. Just make sure that you don't get too close to the radius of the explosion, which is what I'm doing right now. They're kind of spread out. I think there's like 6 or 7 Minotaurs. Some of them have yellow bars, some of them are just red bars with shields. But you shouldn't have too much of an issue taking them out, especially if the appropriate modifier is on for your secondary. And if I can kill this guy, this is actually a pretty decent spot for the last people. I'm going to show you one spot particularly good for solo, since this is the last Minotaur. Is if you hop on the first platform and then jump over here, you're very well covered from the Nexus himself, especially when doing this solo. And if you die as a Warlock, of course, you have your Fireborn to come back. But that's good in general for a lot of people. However, for the purposes of the video, I'm going to show you the best place for doing this solo. If I can kill him, jump back to the platform where you originally landed, and instead of going right, go to the left, hop on this platform, hop over on this little edge, and then triple jump, glide, or jetpack your way all the way over here. And make sure you do this quickly, because there are a couple little invisible walls, and get right back here. And this is the best place that you can go for solo. You're pretty much covered at every angle. The only spot is kind of right there. A couple of hobgoblins will occasionally go there, and they will be able to throw grenades. But this is the best spot for solo. This is a little cheap, so if you'd rather not be cheap, the other spot that I showed you there on the right side is also very good. You just have to make sure you watch your left and your right flanks. This spot that I am currently in, though, is definitely the best. Like I said, I don't know if it's a glitch because there are a couple of barriers here and there. But regardless, there's not a barrier in the way that we got in. But just stay back here, make sure you've taken enough cover, make sure you don't kill yourself with the rocket launcher right here, because there's these little poles that stuck up, and I have been guilty of killing myself with them multiple times before. And after not too long, you should be able to kill them. Now that's where the synthesis packs probably come in the most handy, is standing back there. Because while you can receive ammo, if you run out of ammo with all 3 of your weapons within a certain proximity of the ammo, it'll just kind of like teleport to you. But I found that being up in that spot, it usually doesn't come to you, so the ammo synthesis packs really come in handy if you happen to run out of ammo while sitting back there. This area right here too, I was talking about earlier, is really good for whenever you're playing in a group of people. Usually a guy will sit there, a guy will sit there, and there's this other spot that's not really good solo, but is good if you have people in this area, is right here. You're covered from the right as long as you've got someone watching your back and you can shoot the Nexus. The only area that you really have to watch for is that left spot right there. But this general area, possibly up top, and then the 2 places I showed you are the best for groups and for solo. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much all for this video. If there's any other details that you guys would like to know, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, stay flossy out there.